Yo, we're live. Welcome back to Beyond All Limits. I got my guest today, Mr. Joe. You like that one?
Yeah.
Today we are talking about Australia Day. Or actually, Happy Australia Day, Joe.
Yes, you too.
Happy Australia Day, everybody. You know. And today we're going to be talking about Australia Day. The reason why I say we need to talk about it is because we are being, every single year, once a year, we are having this debate. Australia Day, is it Conquer Day, yada, 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 blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
What's going on here? And for me, I feel like as a person who comes from a different part of the world, I was born here. People want to know I was born here, as you yourself, Joe. But I feel a bit in the middle. Don't you think, Joe?
Yeah.
I feel in the middle because I don't know what to do. Like, I love this country as much as anybody else, but what does it mean for us? Like, I get where the indigenous Aboriginals are coming from. You know, they came in here, they did what they did, they took over, they murdered, all the history that's happened. But like me, I didn't even know that. But growing up, I thought it was just Australia Day, like celebrating finding Australia. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, it's a very sordid history, unfortunately, and like I got a bit confused myself when I was looking at the post today because it started talking about Australia Day, Survival Day, and I'm just trying to think of the other terms that were bouncing around as well. It's not a day to celebrate, and a kind of people my age and a bit older are a bit confused by it because it's kind of come out of nowhere. And I think the reason why it kind of came out of nowhere is because we didn't have to think about it.
That's right.
Right? And I had a reflection thinking about this because I'm trying to think of it from the Indigenous point of view, why suddenly it's a thing, right? Because we, as I said, well, here in Adelaide anyway, unless you know someone or you've worked with someone or you're related to someone who's Indigenous, you don't see them. Really.
True.
Really, to be quite honest. When I was little growing up, I grew up in the 80s. And at primary school, we went to school, we put the flag up every day. I was a flag monitor. It was great because I get to leave the class early. That's why I put it up, man. And also the still crossing monitor, you know.
Yeah.
You got an extra 10 minutes early and then you can go home.
And you learn, I'm guessing, as well. I agree because, we'll put up the Aboriginal flag. We learn about the Aboriginal history and we embraced it and everything. Especially we learn how to play the didgeridoo, stuff like that.
Primary school in the 80s, there was no Aboriginal flag. It was just the Australian flag. This is why it's that reality building up to whatever. Because if you're a kid in the 90s into the 2000s and you're at primary school, there would have been an Aboriginal flag.
Oh, yeah, there were.
For me, it wasn't. And for my mum, who was first generation Australian because her parents migrated here in the 50s, she had an English flag and had to sing God Save the Queen. But she didn't speak English like at home, so she's speaking Italian, my grandpa's Serbian, but and so she's coming to school having to put up the British flag and singing God Save the Queen. She's not British, so I asked my mum. I said, well, hang on, you would have actually sung God Save the Queen, and you would have had a Union Jack, not really, or would have switched to an Australian flag. And then would still have to sing God Save the Queen. Yeah,
definitely.
But then the Australian National Anthem came in very late afterwards. And that's kind of when we got it. And then we started singing the Australian flag. But still, there was no Aboriginal representation with the flag then in the 80s. Right? But the patriotism was still there. So we got up in the morning, we went to school, we had our assembly, we did it. And if when it was raining, I'm not going to say we were out there round hail or shine. That's bullshit. I don't think we did. We were kids. We wouldn't have been able to. But I remember one time it did start to rain in the middle of it and we stayed there till the end. And then we all ran inside. It was I'm freezing my ass off here.
Let's go. Let's go back inside, guys.
I'm 9 years old. Relax. Anyway, so there was that kind of reality. And then I distinctly remember, because I grew up as a kid with Encyclopedia Britannicas, I had to do a report, I remember, on Aboriginals,
Oh, okay, that's cool.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, right. I had no fucking idea. Like, my whole family were Italian. Like, that was my reality. Like, that's who I grew up with. I didn't know anything about Aboriginals. The only one that I unfortunately knew about were the drunk people in Victoria Square. That was
Yeah,
my reality.
yeah.
That was a lot of reality to a lot of people. So
Yeah.
so
Which is fair
that's
enough.
it's the truth, and that's my reality about it. So
Yeah.
I had zero knowledge about Indigenous people.
Yeah,
So,
growing up in the 80s.
correct. So I sit down, I open up my Encyclopedia Britannica. There's a very, I wouldn't say famous, but there was a common picture of an Aboriginal standing on the cliff, right? And it's even referred to in the comedy sketch Black Comedy. One of the Indigenous comedians does it, right?
Yeah.
Stands there on the cliff and he's got his leg like this and holding a spear, right?
Yeah,
And that was the Indigenous
I know what you're talking
man,
about.
right? So I distinctly remember going to the kitchen, taking out my baker's paper, putting it down, tracing it, putting it on this sheet of paper, looking up the Encyclopedia Britannica, what is an Aboriginal? Copied that, no AI, like just copied it, like, and then write down. I can't remember what I wrote, but I did it, and I handed that in, right? And great work, Joe, fantastic. What effort on my point? I didn't learn anything. I just said that this is what an Aboriginal person is. That was as far as I knew, like acknowledgement, education-wise, nothing. So when you fast forward now to my 6-year-old in primary school, she's got Aboriginal kids around her, right? There's the Aboriginal flags on the flagpoles. There's a lot of Aboriginal art everywhere. The welcome to country occurs when they have a school event. They have someone come in and do a ceremony. If they're opening up a new building, there's an opening ceremony and a cleansing ceremony or whatever. The video of the school presenting the school and going around, there's a big section at the start of it about the Ghana people and the people around that area. And it's so when I compare my childhood as compared to my daughter's childhood, it's miles apart. And it's
bro.
way more educated.
Bro.
More educated on it. And I'm happy about that because that's what she needs and what my younger son needs when they're growing up into the thing. So it made me think about why everyone was fired up about Australia Day today. Something came across my attention that I wasn't aware of. The 26th of January is saying when the first fleet landed, right? The problem with that date is that it's actually not correct, right? There's a lot of dates. There's like 3 dates chucked around the actual landing of the British and the introduction with Indigenous people engaging with the British.
What?
In
What do
this
you mean?
January period. Oh, yeah.
So,
Like-
so today, the 26th of January, Australia didn't actually land in this day.
And I had to go, okay, I need to kind of sit down and look at this because I thought, okay, this is news to me because, again, I think it's deliberate. It's deliberately keeping people...
Hold on. All right. You just skipped 3 things. I'm like, you're telling me January the 26th is not the actual day of landing?
It's part of the day of the landing.
So what's the original...
It's still in play.
So what's the original landing?
So I've got it written. I've got it written here, right? So I went on and got the www.aap.com fact check around this date. So Professor Irving gave the full because there's a lot of confusion around this. So she said in 1988, bicentenary, which I was activated and got a little coin. I remember that as a kid. Life is great in 88, as they said. Right?
Okay.
Not for everybody. Marked the arrival of the first fleet in Sydney in 1788. The first boat of the first fleet landed in Botany Bay on the 18th of January, 1788. But the fleet then moved to Port Jackson, which is now Sydney. So that's what it was referred to initially, where on the 26th of January, 1788, the British flag was then raised there. And that's what that is.
So the actual date, first time ever landing in Australia was the 18th of January.
Yeah. And there's an even earlier landing by a group of ships that landed on the 1616. It landed and they nailed a plate to the wall, to a pole, and had the name of everyone on board, right? And then they left, and as other ships came and went past and saw this plate, they kind of restored it and kept it well knit. And it's a legit place, but I can't remember where it was. But that was technically the first landing of white people in Australia in 1660, in 1616.
1616.
Yeah.
So wait, hold. I can't wrap my head around this because
you need a button that keeps saying hold up.
I actually do. Hold up.
Hold up.
Because
yeah.
Like, look, the thing is that we're having here is why are we having this division in this country about Australia Day? Every year we have the same thing, protests, fighting, this and that. The Aboriginals have their protesting and they're doing what they need to do.
Like today.
Like today they are protesting or they
Australian
protested.
Flag got burned.
Australia got about...
because of the new laws that got passed that it allows you to burn the Australian flag. So the first thing they did...
Wait, we can't... No, they can't do that. There's a new law that says that no freedom of speech.
We can't burn other people's flags.
But they can burn Australian flag.
The Australian flag is
up for... Look, if they choose to burn the Australian flag, it's up to them. But the situation that I don't like having is while we are fighting, you just said to me on the 16th of January is when the first man landed and did what they did. So technically today is not even about the day of, what's it called? It's taking over, bro. Yeah, it's not even the day of taking, it's the day of raising the flag.
Yeah, so when the British
I don't understand.
When a country, even Spain did it, right? So when the Spanish turn up to places, they go, I declare this land in the name of blah, 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 and that's how it was. And so the British landed, they did the same thing. There's a very misrepresented painting in Sydney or in Canberra of white man getting off the boat with the British flag. The Aboriginals are there as well on the beach and everything looked hunky-dory. That's not what happened. Again, that's artist interpretation, no different than why Jesus is a white man, not an Arabic guy. Like, it's just Europeans putting their spin on what something looked like.
Yeah, well, look.
That was their reality at the time because they were ignorant. That's what they knew, right? So the same as what I'm trying to say is my ignorance as a kid in the 80s.
Different to how it is now.
Bingo, with the Aboriginal stuff. Is it deliberate arrogance? No. Ignorance? No, it's not. It's because the information was not there at the time. Now that there's more information, people can start saying, okay, hang a second. Let's step back and let's educate ourselves a bit better, right? Rather than getting fired up, because like I'd said to you off camera and as I was explaining, our realities are different. I'm second generation Australian.
First generation.
From immigrant parents, and whatever. And for mine, grandparents. Yours, parents, right? You've got the extreme left woke area, right, that's pushing their agenda. Well, that's where the majority of the problem is coming from. And then you've got the extreme right on the other side, which is all your neo-Nazis and whatever. And we're literally skinning the edge of both because you start to go a little bit left on the corner because you think, well, you know what, I actually agree with that person talking about that. And then they say two other things that are so fucking outlandish. Like, you're like, whoa, hang on, I don't agree with that. Like, what the fuck? Like, and then you look that way and go, well, fucking, I'm not with the Sikh whole group, so they can get fucked too. So then you're stuck in the middle, frustrated, not knowing where to go, scared about saying something, trying to educate yourself. The media now is so closed and so funneled, right, that what used to be a really good source of information is now not. And what I'm talking about is the ABC. The ABC was my life ship. I would go to it all the time because I didn't go to Channel 9, I didn't go to Channel 7, I didn't go to Channel 10 because they were all had their investments. You got the Murdochs and all that kind of stuff. They were heavily controlling and editing what you were seeing from around the world. If you really wanted to see something around the world, you watched the SBS news.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
If you really wanted to see something in the 90s or whatever, you'd look at Al Jazeera if you wanted to get in tabs on what was going on in the Middle East. You can't do that anymore. Al Jazeera's gone. It's a part of the Muslim Brotherhood. They're cooked. Like they've only got one side of the story now. You're not going to get full coverage of proper stuff that's happening in the Middle East because of that reason. It is now no different than Channel 9, Channel 7 and Channel 10. You're not going to get the proper, educated, unbiased news anymore. Unfortunately, the ABC has gone down the same rabbit hole. That is so left woke It is insane. And I looked at it and I can't now watch the news, which is a massive bummer for me because that's something that I used to watch a lot. When I was little, my nono, my grandpa, said to me, you need to watch the news, you need to educate yourself. Even if you don't live on that part of the world, you need to know what's going on because you'll be walking around dumb when something bad kicks off and then you had no idea what was going on. So that was instilled to me very young, at a young age. So I used to sit down and watch the news with my nono to the point that I looked forward to 6 o'clock and sitting down with my nono watching the news. And he'd tell me, yeah, this is what, oh, this is bad, or this is what's happening, or, you know, if he didn't know about something, he goes, look, I don't know what's happening. You know, some bad things are going on. It was always a war. There was some war happening all the time.
There's been war going on for
all
years,
the time,
bro.
all the time.
There's always wars.
And I'd
always
say,
war.
oh, no, why are they fighting? He goes, yeah, because that's what humans do.
It's true, though.
He goes, that's what we do. He goes, we did that. He goes, I was in a war. Everyone's in a war. We're all in a war, right? So going kind of tracking back to like where we are now. So I looked up other things as well. So 1973 was the introduction to Welcome to Country. So that started to happen as well. Before that never happened. So the Aboriginals did not have representation for a long time.
Yeah, I didn't really like realize that until like, look, I was working in different types of industries, so I've never heard that. Welcome to
Country.
the Ghana land and all that. I never heard it. I worked in traffic control. I worked in concreting. Who's going to do that to us when we're in the middle of a meeting? You know what I mean?
More like an international game, rugby, opening ceremony for something, the Olympics. You know, this is kind of really what they're there for. And so there's other things that happened there's a lot that's happened in history in Australia in a very small period of time regarding this. So you've got Mabo about land rights. You've got, you know, the treatment of Yvonne Goolagong, the Indigenous tennis player, right? You've got the Aboriginal embassy that started in front of Canberra, which was a tent.
Yep.
Right? I'm not sure if you remember that one. There was a big thing on that too.
I don't remember that one.
I'm not 100% about the information on that. I know it existed. That's why I'm just saying it to the listeners. Like this is, I'm not heavily educated on it, but I know that these are small things that happen throughout history. And slowly, right, unfortunately very slowly, the Indigenous people are starting to get recognised in Australia. Right?
Yes.
This is why it's frustrating for me when you've got people on the far left provoking shit on the day, because you're thinking, okay, if you really sit down and look at, and this is to an Aboriginal person, your mum and dad's existence growing up, right, or your grandma's existence when they were a part of the stolen generation, which was a fucking horrendous thing that happened.
Oh, yeah, 100% I agree.
Have you watched the movie Rabbit Proof Fence?
Yes, I have.
Right. That gives you a really uncomfortable insight of what the fuck that was about, where the white people wanted to breed out the Aboriginal people.
Yeah.
Right? So they took them from their communities,
Yeah.
they brought them into the city, and they essentially tried to make them white people.
Yeah.
Right? With the intent of them marrying a white person, and then literally, and I still can't remember that picture because I thought how fucked it was, right? But it's good it was in there. Was a picture of an Aboriginal person and the colour degradation change each time that person had a child and what that child would look like. And I'm thinking that is the most fucked thing I've ever seen. But that was the reality and that's what they were doing.
But the funny thing is, since you brought up that topic, and since you brought up how many years that was ago?
Stolen generation would have been 30s. Look, very wide parameter.
Maybe like 60, 70 years ago?
Right into probably the 70s and 80s.
So like 50, 60, 70 years ago?
Yeah, not long ago.
Yeah, okay, not long ago. I understand. The thing is, you got to realize this country is very new. So 200 and something years old.
Yep.
So when Australia came, it's like, the country itself is longer, it's like 1,000 years old. But when the white people came in, it's just recent.
Yeah.
Okay, and I get it and I understand that. It's disgusting what they do, especially the people who come and conquer, right? It's the same. When you brought that up, it kind of reminded me of the African Americans in America. They did try to do the same thing, outbreed the dark skin and make them lighter. That generation's gone now. We're in a different generation. This generation is it's good, it has is very good, and has as well a terrible thing, because I feel like there's nothing you can talk about. everyone's sensitive. Oh, you shouldn't be saying that. Oh, you don't believe in this, or like, oh, you believe in something, and then everyone's against you. That knows no respect of what you believe in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think in this generation, I personally, for me, I just want to get along with everybody else. I understand that what the Aboriginals gone through, and then it's a terrible thing. Like, because I have a lot of Aboriginal friends when I used to work with traffic control. I had an Aboriginal friend as well. And he used to live next to my cousin's house in the Hollywood Plaza. They're good people. I love them. I've noticed that they've never talked about their past. They never talked about what happened. They gave me an idea. They told me what's happened and this and that. But the funny thing is, when it comes to history, bro, it's history. And I think this is the right moment to accept it. It's happened. Let's move forward. Let's get along. Let's love each other. But at the end of the day, we're all similar in so many fucking ways. It's like, I'm from Chile, you're Italian, but reality of it, we have the same common. Do you know what I mean? You like you have mortadella, salami, prosciutto, all of that. My country has the same.
Can we stop now? Because I'm hungry.
But what I'm trying to... She's cooking in the background right now, some pasta. But what I'm trying to say is, like, for me, for example, bro, I'm from South America. Yeah. I'm from Chile. Yeah. And every single Latino, if you're listening to this, I think they will agree. The Spanish came. Yep. They came. They conquered. They took the gold. They're looking for gold. Mostly looking for gold. They enslaved everyone, forced the language on us, and pretty much did exactly the same thing. Because we were dark skinned as well. They outbreeded us, this and that. Fast forward many, many years, I go to Spain for a holiday. Do I look at Spanish people and say, fuck you? No, I don't, because that's a different generation. That's happened many, many years ago. So I'm not looking at this generation of Spanish people and say, oh, fuck you, your grandpa did this to me. Like, no, that's happened years ago. Whatever it is, we're in a different generation. We're in a different time. Technology, this and that. We can speak whatever. I don't know about free speech though, because we're having a bit of a dilemma with that with the government. But anyways, we have free speech, this and that. But right now, I feel like this country itself is a beautiful country. There used to be no problems, no protest, no stabbings, no fighting, there was fighting here and there with the drugs. That's the only thing I can remember. I grew up with none of that. I just grew up with the bikies. They doing what they're doing. But I never had that. Now we're having neo-Nazis. I don't like them. I hate them to bits, because who are you to come here and say this is meant to be a white society? I'm against that. But then at the same time, I feel like the Aboriginals don't really accept anyone else in this country. You know, I'm born here, you're born here, you said we love this country as much as they do. But, you know, at the end of the day, I want to get along with them, and I want to celebrate this country with everybody. You know, like there should be a day of celebration of coming together as as peaceful, not having riots and not burning the flag, none of this. Like, we should all come together.
I think the people that you saw in the news today that were doing a gathering, and the Aboriginal leader stood up, the elder, and burned the Aboriginal flag in front of everyone, and the white lady that was there doing the sign language and then looks over and sees the Aboriginal elder burn the flag, and then everyone claps, and there's a moment of delay, and then she goes...
Just clapping.
And I went... what the fuck are you doing? Like, you know, like straight away, I almost launched out of my chair, and then I went, oh shit, hang on. I'm gonna calm down. I thought, how awkward was it for that woman to sit there and look at that happen? And then I thought to myself, did your grandpa, was he in the war? Was your grandpa in World War II and had to fight off the Japanese because they were about to invade? Was your great-great-grandfather in World War I and all that shit? With Gallipoli, right? Do you march? Do you put a candle out on Australia Day? Do you put a candle out on Anzac Day? Because you can't fucking clap at someone that burns the Australian flag. Okay, so let's look about how the invasion of Japan would have happened. Now, they came extraordinarily close. If it was not for the complete hard-lined fight that the reserves put up, or the Choco soldiers, right, that the reserves thing and fought them in Papua New Guinea, almost to the last man and hung in there, right? So hard that they thought that the Japanese had to pull back, right? They weren't planning on that, right? They literally thought they were going to just cakewalk it in. They bombed Darwin. That's as close as they got, right?
That's how Pearl Harbor, pretty much.
Yeah, no, because we didn't really have our ships there. It wasn't really a military hit. It was more hitting the town.
Well, that's what I mean.
Like softening up the area before they landed.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. Like, in Pearl Harbor, they attacked the army, but we got attacked in Darwin.
Yeah, so in Darwin at that time, there was Aboriginal people and white Australians, right? And everyone together was Australian that day because it didn't matter what colour you were. You're all fighting one fucking guy that was in a plane trying to shoot you. Like, there was no oh, hang on, I can't stand next to you because you're black. There wasn't that shit going on. Everyone united and fought against one common situation. The point that I'm trying to say is, right?
Yes.
That thankfully did not happen, right? Because the reality, what we've seen, the history of what they did to other countries when they invaded, right, would have happened to the Indigenous people here. Do you think they would have treated them any different or nicer? They would have been worse because to them, they would have been subhuman.
Okay.
Even more worse treatment than what white people were treating them already, right? And if you don't believe that, go through the archives, talk about Korea, China, what they did to women, the comfort women. There would have been Aboriginal comfort women, right?
I know what
you
you're
know
talking
what I mean?
about. Yeah.
They would have hacked up the guys. The guys wouldn't have lasted 2 seconds. They would have hacked up everyone, right? And they would have done what they did. We would have been a part of Imperial Japan, like of the thing. If you watch the movie Man in the High Tower,
Yep.
it shows you the world, what it looked like when the Allies, when we lost and the axis of evil won, right? So the world's cut in half. Germany owns one side.
Japan owns the other part.
The interesting situation on that is, and this is a really big reflection now on Aboriginals with white colonial or just, Australians. We're Australians. Anyway.
We're Australians. We're fucking Australians.
Anyway, so, look. Japan, my wife's Filipino, your wife's Filipino.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay, so my mother-in-law was little girl when Japan occupied the Philippines. Right? Mm-hmm. She doesn't have a lot of memories about the Japanese, but she doesn't have a lot of good memories about what the Japanese were doing to Filipino people, right? Mm-hmm. And they were fucking brutal with them, right? No different than anyone else that was under their occupation. They were brutalised horribly, right? So, you don't know what that is? Look it up, everyone. Get educated on that, right? So, the point that I'm trying to make is, over this period of time, since the war, so we're talking now 70, 80, well, nearly 90 years old, 90 years. What's the relationship like between the Filipinos and the Japanese?
That I know of, they're pretty good to each other and they're not trying to get a business deal with each other.
So what's up with that? Like, if a
because they
fucking
moved
country that got absolutely brutalised to shit by these people, and I'm not talking about 100 or so, I'm like really fucked them up. Like, mass rape, mass murder, like fucking around, taking gabs of how many heads they can cut off. This kind of shit with people, really satanic shit, right? And then they can then, after the war, slowly that relationship had to come back, right? So, in a sense, when half white, half Aboriginal or Aboriginal people start turning around saying this is colonisation, they came along, for example, Armstrong here with the ABC sports presenter is now doing a barbecue thing, which I thought was a barbecue thing when I saw it, and it turns out to be a dig about how white people introduced smallpox to Aboriginal people. And I thought, really, they fucking got to you as well, right? Because I thought that shit is provocational and stokes the fire. How does that lead to reconciliation?
Why, so what's the whole point of the ad? So he's trying to say that since
and he's a smart ass about it.
So the English came and gave him smallpox.
How to not wreck a barbecue is what it's called. How to not wreck a barbecue. I don't know if that's how. Yeah, I don't know if you can play it and then hear it.
If you send it to me, I'll put it on.
I think I've sent it to you. I've sent it to you. Like,
let me have a look. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm just gonna have stuff set out.
And then I've got the 2017 Australian Day lamb video with an Indigenous actor in there.
So you sent it to me on.
I think I've sent it to you
on Instagram. Oh, here we go. All right, I'm gonna put it on, guys, and see. You tell me what you think. I didn't even see this ad. So
I thought it was cooking lamb. I'm like a massive meat eater. I thought, oh, here we go.
Some people say you shouldn't get too political around January 26. It might ruin the barbecue. Well, I'd never want to ruin a barbecue. So here's some tips to get yours sizzling. The secret.
Oh yeah, it's like him.
This spice mix has a hint of lemon myrtle in it. Flip the meat so that it's coated on both sides. Just as some
actually making me
historians
pretty
believe
hungry,
the
actually.
gifts distributed by soldiers given to Aboriginal people at Manly Cove were coated in smallpox. But don't focus on that. It might ruin the barbecue. I'm using olive oil, but you can use whatever oil you prefer, as long as the bottle doesn't remind you of the vial of live smallpox variola matter reportedly in the possession of Dr. John White, surgeon with the First Fleet. Because that could ruin the barbecue. Time to whack your steaks onto the hot plate, which you want super hot, feverishly hot. Let's get a couple on now. Ooh, it's hot. Searing the meat helps with the flavour, but it also caramelizes your seasoning as the surface blisters. Speaking of blisters and fevers, don't think about the reports that within a year or so, half of the Aboriginal people in the Sydney area were dead, killed by smallpox. That could ruin the barbecue. After a couple of minutes, it's time to turn your meat. It's really important to keep an eye on the time, so you don't overcook your meat and ruin the barbecue. Time was, of course, something the Aboriginal people didn't have. Within the first couple of years, reports suggest roughly half to 70% of the Indigenous population of the southeast were gone. Imagine if 70% of the guests at your barbecue were gone, forever, within just a few years. Actually, don't think about that. It'll ruin the barbecue.
I was going to stop it there because
Irritating.
not really. It's just like I was looking at the meat. I'm like, I'm getting a bit hungry actually.
Yeah.
The meat looked pretty good.
I was hungry and irritated. I was like, what am I feeling here? Like,
that meat looks good. I don't really know. That's a bit weird for me because I'm like, why do an ad and then talk about something like, oh, did you know? Oh yeah, but don't let it ruin the barbecue now. I'm just letting you know that this is, but don't let it ruin the barbecue. It's like, so what's the situation here? There's a lot of people who conquered a lot of part of the world. Spanish came to Philippines, same thing. They gave them smallpox. It's what happens. There's a natural indigenous island near India, right? I'm pretty sure you know about it.
Yeah.
No one can go there.
Yep.
Legit, it's illegal to go there. They'll kill you on the spot. Done. You'll get speared. They'll take you in. Maybe they might even eat humans. We don't know. Everyone keeps saying don't go there because disease-wise, they're not used to that. They'll die instantly, right? Back in the day, we didn't know. We didn't know if we will go, the disease that we carry as humans will go into indigenous place and then give him something and kill him. Who knew about that? It's the same with the Spanish who went to like South America, but like did the same thing. They came with smallpox, killed majority of the indigenous people. It's the same situation. I don't understand what's the message here.
Okay, so this is.
I gotta pop another beer.
Yeah, man. This is an example of this shit being bashed over your head, right? Right. So it did the desired effect, which was it fucked me off, and I'll tell you why it fucked me off. Because I was like, here we go again. We've done these steps as a nation to address the issues that we've had with Indigenous people in the past. You know, our government could have been complete fucking assholes and would have just said, shut the fuck up. Like, you're now on a reservation like every other fucking, like the Native Americans, right? And you don't amount for shit. You know, that's it. We're not going to pay you. We're not going to do this. You do all our labour. You clean our toilets now. Some countries, they would have gone hard on them, making them subhuman, if not eradicating them completely.
No, you're 100% right on that one.
Absolutely, right? So when you have the government that sits down and says, right, reconciliation. I remember that, and I also remember Kevin Rudd's apology for the stolen generation.
I've heard about that one.
Huge moment.
I remember that one. They're
Yeah.
the first indigenous people to get actually apologized to
Correct.
in history. I remember
Correct.
that. My brother told me that, and I was a bit like, wow.
Yeah.
What
So
about
what do you want?
What about the Native Americans in America? They
Still
pretty
don't.
much they're
No.
extinct. They're
No.
extinct, bro.
No.
They got shut down, extinct.
Yeah.
That's what I know.
Well, Tasmanian Aboriginals got that. There's a movie called Quickly Down Under with Tom Selleck. Right? Check that out.
They got pretty much extinct.
There's a complete scene where the kind of cowboys that get sent over to hunt Aboriginals, each person gets an amount of money per head of how many Aboriginals they can kill. That is actually a true thing. That's why Tom Selleck was all about it and wanted this movie out, because he wanted to show everyone this is what people did.
Which
right?
is fair
To
enough.
Educate, absolutely.
Which is fair enough to be
Absolutely.
educated. At least we know. And that's the thing. Look, with Aboriginals in this situation, I'm not against what they think. Not at all. Like, I understand his history. It must upset you. Whatever the white people did. But then who are you putting in the category of white? Let me ask you that. Am I part of that?
Colonials? Like,
No. Am I
exactly.
am I part of that? Like, look at my skin color, brother.
Yeah.
Am I part of that? Are you a part of that? You're Italian?
We came here in the 50s, but okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Are the Asians a part of it too? Like, I don't know who
Yeah.
are they putting it in.
Yeah.
I think my friend, he's African, and he does Didi, like driving, and he'll tell me like,
From the last episode?
what do you mean? No,
Last
a
episode
different
you
one,
had,
a different
right,
one,
okay.
a different,
Yeah, yeah.
not Precious, a different one.
Yeah.
And he does driving, and he'll tell me like, you'll pick up Aboriginals. He doesn't really mind. He picks up everybody. He doesn't care. He's not that kind of person. He's African at the end of the day. And the funny thing is, him as a dark-skinned person, as himself, was getting racist, being like told, and being racist to him, and Aboriginals being racist to him. And I was like, "What are you doing, brother?" Oh no, what do you mean? Yeah, but he was drunk. I'm like, okay, fair enough. No issues there. But the thing is, what he was saying pretty much to get out of my country. Like, what are you doing here? You're too dark skin.
Do
you know what I mean?
You want to hit you there?
By the way, we are not attacking. We're just putting out our thoughts
no,
and ideas
yeah.
because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
as a person who's born here and you as well, we just don't know where to stand.
Everyone's racist.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who are they putting in? Like,
And
I have
everyone-
Aboriginal
before-
friends, bro. Like, they
before-
don't put me on that category.
Yeah.
But then when I hear this situation that's happening once every year, mind you, they don't protest every day. They only protest on Australia Day, Anzac Day,
Yep.
and that's it. Those 2 days out of all the years. All of the years.
Or in between that time, they like to chuck red paint
Yes.
on statues.
I haven't seen that one, though.
That's my second flag burning thing. If I see anyone doing that,
Which
I don't care.
which statue?
Initially, it was Captain James Cook statue. Fair enough. The guy was a prick.
Okay,
And
it
guess
was-
what?
yeah.
You know what? You should get excited because the Hawaiians fucked him up on the beach and they cut his head off. And
The Hawaiians?
Yeah, mate, he got fucked up.
Oh, well, see, there you go.
Like, you know what I mean?
There
Like,
you go. Fuck him.
You know, like karma fucking came around.
There you
He
go.
pretty much, he was not a great guy. Anyway, so everyone's racist. Before everyone turns around and goes, what do you mean by that? Clutch my pearls. Like, you know, no, I'm not. Like, right, okay. Look at each individual country and their different regions, how people are dark on things. Right?
Yes.
Chileans are what? Don't like Argentinians.
We don't like Argentinians because of
South
the
Americans, exactly. So there's that. Other South Americans don't like other South Americans.
war. The Peruvians and Bolivians don't like Chileans because of the land.
Racism. like,
But
I
like,
don't know, like,
but the funny thing is, if you put a
But-
Peruvian here,
yeah.
we'll just get along.
yeah.
A Colombian will get along. Argentinians will just talk about football and they will just brag how good they are. But like, oh, well, fair enough, you're
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
But we do get along. You know what I mean? It's same with the Brazilian and the Colombiano, Paraguay, all these countries,
You
Uruguay.
know what I'm saying? But like the Italians, like the North don't like the South. The South don't like the North. Like fucking Romans don't like anyone. Like, you know,
But that's what I mean.
it's just
That's
like-
racist with each other, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't exist. It's like when everyone turns around and goes, "I'm not racist," mate. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
But the fucking Queenslanders having a go at Adelaide having a go at Victoria.
So let me ask you a question: Is that racism or is that?
It's kind of regional, but like,
Regional
it's like
racism.
regional bullshit. But like, it's all different thing. Okay, the Italians, the South, the Napolitanas and the Sicilians, right? Everyone goes, brr, brr, brr. People answer back, the Sicilians are just Arabs because the Turks came in, like they were like a part of the Byzantine Empire.
Bro,
Then
that's
the
like-
and then the North are going, the Napolitanas are like Mexicans because the Spanish came, and we were a Spanish colony and a French colony.
Oh,
and
okay.
and that's why you get 3 flavours of Neapolitan ice cream because we're 3 different things.
Okay.
The Normans, the French, and the Spanish.
But let me put this: It's like saying the Italians with the Greeks,
Yes.
and it's like saying with the Greeks and the Turks.
Thanks. But you kind of, not full blown racism as in like KKK racism, but like everyone's like, or England with Ireland. So then people go, because when people automatically think racism, this is what I reflected on.
Okay.
They automatically assume dark skinned people versus Caucasian. That's it.
It's not.
It's not. It's fucking Arabic on black on something else, Arabs on other Arabs. Fucking, you go into the Caucasian side of Europe, right? The Europeans are having a full go at each other, right? You got the Serbs alone, like in that area, like Croatia, Serbia, and the Bosnians, right?
It's like
All
the
in that pocket.
the African Americans with the Mexicans. They don't get along.
Exactly. What else? Austrians and Germans with each other, right? They're essentially the same race. Like, it's ridiculous.
But let me just on you on that. Because the reason why it's good that you brought that up, and it's true what you said about other countries not getting along and racism and this and that. But the funny thing is now in this generation, since we're so multicultural, more than we used to be. Before it was just Italians. I remember, as I remember, Italians, Greeks, Asians, maybe Turks, Filipinos. That's about it. Now there's so much. There's a lot of people from a lot of people from Africa. There's a lot of people from Middle East. There's a lot of people from different parts of Asia. There's so much nationality. So much. It's like now when I look at another person from another nationality, it's like, okay, whatever. Back in the day, when your dad and my dad grew up, that was racism. That was racism. You know, in the what's it called? In the factories, calling my dad names and this and that, or what are you like? Oh, wog, you dirty wog, this and this. But we embraced it. We embraced the wog. We embraced what the word means. You know what I mean? We embraced everything. At the end of the day, we're like, all right, whatever. That's the old generation, and that's what I'm trying to get at. Now we're in such a different generation that we all want to actually get along. And now I feel like it's still the old generation fighting with the old generation. And then the old generation is still trying to brainwash the new generation about what's going on. And that's what's happening.
And it's working because
It's
then
working.
they take it up, and they take it up triple hard than what the bully I had in high school was Croatian.
Yeah.
Didn't know I had anything to do with Serbia because my surname was Italian, right? And my friend, by accident, in a Year 8 camp, so we had a Year 8 camp, and we got on really, really well, right? And this camp, and I thought, cool, man, I met some new dudes, like, inside high school. This is going to be killer. Like, you know, like, because we just left Year 7. We went on a Year 8 camp to Victor Harbour. We got on really well, right? And by accident, my friend said to him, I think it's cool that you get on with Joe because, you know, like, and the guy goes, what do you mean? Like, and he goes, oh, well, you know, his grandpa's Serbian. Flick the switch. That
There
was
you
it.
go. Problem there.
Problems, right? So from Year 8, Year 12, picked on non-stop. Sometimes it was verbal. Sometimes it was physical. Like, it just fucking whatever. So my mum was like, ignore, move away, ignore, move away. I wanted to put this guy into fucking hospital, right?
But it's over something so
it was
stupid.
Exactly. Then the parents found out and they went absolutely bonta saying, we fucking left there for not to do this shit here. right? But
Yeah.
because he saw it here, he heard it from his older brother, he heard it from his family, he heard it from his dad.
Grandpa, blah, blah,
That
blah, blah.
shit fucking... I'm sitting there listening to my grandpa talk about Croatians, talking about fucking this, well, mainly it was about the Turks and the Germans. Like, fucking don't start him on that shit, right? Turks and Germans, fucking not a fan.
Yeah,
right?
which is fair enough. But that's the thing, though. It's old. It's not like that anymore.
But do I have issues with Turkish people? No, I don't. I don't, because I understand that's what happened then, right? But it doesn't reflect me here in Australia because I've got Australian friends, I've got multicultural friends. The primary school I went to was so multicultural, it was ridiculous, right? Well, not to an extent, not like it is now in the 90s. The 90s kids in Australia would have had Africans and Chinese and whatever.
Around 2000s.
Exactly. I went to primary school in the late 80s, right? We had one Chinese girl rock up in year 7, right? Out of the whole school, like one Chinese girl, right? And then we had one girl who was Greek, like the Greek background. Majority were all Italian, right, from the Italian background. Either their parents migrated, so they were first generation in Australian, or second gen, like me. Legit, there would have been about 6 third, fourth generation Australian kids there. That's how slammed my primary school was, how ethnic our school was. Like,
I can agree on you with that because the primary school that I went to was mostly all whites, not much Italians, mostly all Australians. There was a few Salvadorians, Aboriginals, of course.
Yeah.
And that's about it. I was the only Chilean there.
Mate, the only South American person I got involved with in high school was right in the middle of the 90s when all that shit was kicking off. And they migrated here. Like, they came here from the war.
Yeah.
Right? So
The Chileans or you talking about Salvadorians?
El Salvador, Chile.
Yeah.
And suddenly half the class were Hispanic. And we were like, well, this is cool.
Yeah,
like,
and you know that thing I sent you on TikTok off
Yeah.
camera. That thing I sent you on TikTok, and
yeah.
I told you that's what my mum and dad went through. The
Yes.
whole situation with the government, and then
I'm grateful that you sent me that because then I was able to understand what was happening.
yeah, and then that's the situation. That's the reason why all the Chileans came because the Americans were there. They had the mining on. They shut it down. The government wants to make it all like Chilean or something like that. Something was going on there. The government itself started pretty much taking people. If you talk anything bad about the government, right now we made a podcast, we'll post it, we'll be gone tomorrow.
This is what I'm saying. So if all the fucking blue-haired people like on Rundle Mall going, oh, my feelings are hurt and shit, shut the fuck up. If this was the governments that your parents escaped from, you wouldn't be breathing the next fucking day.
My mum,
you'd be hanging from a lamppost, bro. Shut the fuck up.
But my mum actually told me that there was a family friend that she knew, and she was talking bad about the government, and she said the next day he was gone. And there's a lot of people that have disappeared, and to this day, we don't know where it went. We don't know what happened. We don't know this. But the situation that we're having right now is that we have to realize and how the way I think is we have to be blessed.
Yep. So the Aboriginal guy burning that flag, right, in the thing, he would have been gathered up, would have been shot publicly, executed publicly, would have been hung from a lamppost, right?
Yeah, well, the situation...
All the gays marching on the thing, or with the LGBT whatever, they would have been all rounded up and executed right there, mate. They would have been thrown off a fucking building, like in some countries.
Yeah, no,
this is the thing. But now those people have got a flag saying gays for this, the very country that hates gay people.
The LGBTQ HDMI DVDs.
Yeah, what? Like, what the fuck? Like, the reason why they can jump around and feel privileged to jump around and feel because they have that safety.
That's you know what I've realized about
welcome.
that community is the safety.
You're welcome.
I don't know why it's such a sensitive topic because you know what, to be honest, like with the situation, since you touched on that topic, I didn't really look, if you are in like a lesbian, gay, whatever you want to be, that's fine. Whatever you want to be, if you feel that way, that's okay. What I don't understand is identifying. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? When he I don't identify as him, her, blah, blah, blah. I don't get that.
Pronouns.
I think your pronouns, I think there's something going on there. I think, but that's my opinion. If you have a problem with it, fucking get on the bike and just do whatever, just get over it. But the thing is that I don't like and it happens, believe me or not, is that there are some gay men who find straight men attractive, drug them, and rape them. And that's what really irritates me, because the whole situation with...
Like the family murders.
No, not about the
Adelaide.
family members, but there's that.
Murders.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they
but there's a lot. Like, for example, if you go to a foreign country,
Mm.
or you go to Philippines, Thailand, places that really accept gay people, or this and that. But there are places that I've heard that some would despite the guy's drink, the next day the guy wakes up and he's sore. So what they're being so protected, doing all of this, but they don't talk about that. That's the reason why it irritates me.
Yeah,
but look, that's my opinion, and that's the reason why, and I have my thoughts. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's all right, it's my thoughts, my opinion. You have to, you know what I mean? We have to respect them as well, have to respect us. But moving on from that, the situation that you said, I've honestly done, I kind of lost
Yeah, because
I actually kind of lost track of thought because I was getting into that.
Well, because it's we have that luxury to the point of not understanding that we have that luxury. And I think it blinded the shit out of us. I think we're so fucking comfortable, right, that we can turn around and say really outlandish shit because no one's going to check us on it. Or we don't have a government that says, hey, shut the fuck up. Like, or next time you have a rally, we're going to be there with tank. Take the Sydney Harbour Bridge March with everyone marching for Palestine.
I remember
taking
now.
up the whole
I remember
entire
now what I'm
fucking
gonna
bridge,
say.
right? Go to a regime country and see how the fuck that's going to go. All right, no worries. Turn on the news now, look at Iran. That's literally what the fuck they did. There was a huge group marching, and what did the Iranians do? They fronted up with the military and they fucking opened fire on everyone. And they weren't using rubber bullets. They were using fucking live ammunition, indiscriminate shooting into fucking their own people, right? So when blue-haired girl decides to start crying about something that they don't understand, that's what fucks me off. Because it's not about you giving a shit about the plight of somebody. It's about you looking good on your fucking Instagram post, sharing a cool fucking emoji, right? And then just looking good and riding the fucking popularity contest. And the reason why I say it's a popularity contest, because not one single fucking pro-pally has turned up about fucking Iran.
That's true. That's true.
And that infuriates me because I'm thinking if you're fucking 2 years, you've lectured everyone on fucking humanitarianism, genocide, fucking whatever other bullshit word you wanted to use, right? And now that it's actually happening in an Arabic country, if you've got a hard on for fucking Middle Eastern people, it's happening right there, right? Where's Greta Thunberg? Where the fuck is she? Like,
right. Let me.
How dare you? Like, where the fuck? Where are you, Greta? Like, I can fucking hear you. You fucking pain in the ass, but I can't see you.
Let me touch the topic on that. And since we're talking about governments and reality of it, we should be blessed and should be happy with the way we live. Because when you said
to
about
a degree,
before,
but
well, in a lot of degree,
we're lucky.
in a lot of degree, because look, the reality of it, people. We have a government. We don't have. If in your eyes, it's not a good government, which is fair enough. Everyone has their point. Everyone has their opinions. Everyone has their thoughts, which is fair enough. But I think about this. I'm able to sleep peacefully. I don't have to worry about the country getting attacked. That's what's happening in Palestine or what's happening in Nigeria. That there's
genocide.
Genocide religion. You got Muslims killing Christians and beheading them and stuff like that. I can go to work with no issues. There's no problems. I have no issues. You have no. There's no one who has issues. But what you said before, because before I lost my train of thought, is that we as people here in Australia, we are too comfortable. We want. Why is this happening? Why isn't the government doing what he's supposed to? Yeah, but look, bro. At the end of the I don't agree what happened in Sydney, in Bondi, the whole shooting situation. Yeah, they messed up. I agree on that. But fucking hell, bro. We're not fucking that bad. We don't have a government who can come in randomly, break the door down, take me away, and I'm fucking disappeared and my wife and kids just don't know where the fuck I'm going.
If the government went really fully extreme on Indigenous people, and this is what they don't understand, they will literally round it up and they will be living in the middle of the country.
Well, they're not. They're looking... they're not And look, I
That's
understand.
how lucky they are.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
how
what I'm
lucky
saying.
that they are. Lucky,
Really,
they are
there was
lucky.
nothing stopping the white government in the early 1900s, right, for rounding up all the indigenous people, right, making one large area in the middle of Australia and saying you are now fucking living here and that's it. The end, right? You can hunt all you want, you can do whatever the fuck you want, but you're not coming near our beach coastal cities and towns. That's Whiteville now, and that could have been real full on extreme, right?
No,
And it didn't happen. And it didn't happen because they brought in laws to make sure that that didn't happen, right? Yes, they were referred to Terra Nullius was Australia. So, okay, I don't know if you're familiar about the arrival and how Australia was circumnavigated and all that kind of shit.
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I wasn't. So, but before you touch on that,
Yeah.
and I was going to say, I just came to me as well. In that time, back in the day, we're talking about back in the day, slavery was a big thing, wasn't it? So a lot of Africans were enslaved. A lot of people were enslaved. That was the thing before. Back in the day, it was like, well, we're selling this guy for like, I don't know, $100. That was a lot probably. That was probably like 100,000 back in the day.
Yep.
Because they probably used you for fighting or whatever. So that in my mind, I just realized that in that time was slavery. Obviously now that's gone, which is good. We don't have to deal with that slavery kind of situation. Do you know what I mean? But continue what you were saying because I just wanted to realize as well realize that.
Slavery was around pre-white civilization. Slavery was picked up by kind of like the Romans and that kind of...
Was the Romans who started? I thought that was from the Netherlands.
No.
The Dutch.
No. So we're going right back, the premise of slaves and things.
What about the Egyptians?
Ancient Greece, the Egyptians, all these kind of big empire areas. They were Arabs enslaving Africans and all that kind of stuff. So slavery involving Caucasian versus African is very new and a short period of time, very small section of time, but that's the time that got heavily magnified. That's the problem because history talks about that side of slavery, not the slavery that existed pre-Christ. And then what happened was the Romans did a very good job at it, right? And moved slave arounds everywhere. And then the slaves that they had led over, they chucked them into the Colosseum and they made gladiator fights. That's kind of what the thing. And then other people, the Greeks then had slaves. Then the other empires had slaves. They all copied each other. They went, hey, that civilization's got a good thing going on. Why don't we have slaves too? Fuck it. And they started doing it, right? Yeah. So then when the Romans went to England and colonized them, right, and introduced roads, plumbing, law, the banking system, created London Bridge, called London Londonium, everything that England's so when English people used to say to me, the smallest book in the world is Italian War Heroes, I'm like, hey, fuck, you know how thick the Roman Empire one is about how we introduced how we rebuilt the country to you, because before that you were fucking mud people, so shut up.
Yeah, well, when I look at the Roman Empire history, it's like absolutely crazy.
Sit down, Aston Villa,
they're the first civilization that made plumbing. Until this day, they use the same plumbing. And then the water system.
Yeah, the aqueducts.
Because when I was in Rome, the water system, bro, it was one of the best waters I ever tasted. That's the one I want to let you know.
One of the best.
It's one of the fucking best. It's one of the best. It's the best one I've ever tasted. Oh, yeah. But I was bro, it was a hot day. It wasn't probably that hot. Maybe 20, 26. It was hot though.
European hot is hot.
It's hot, bro.
I've been to Paris when it was hot. I'm like, what the fuck?
This is hot.
Did we bring the Australian sun with
us?
Today
it's 40 degrees and I thought that was hot. But no, anyways. I pulled my water bottle.
Calm down.
And I was filling up my water bottle.
Yeah.
I grabbed it. It was fucking cold. Frozen. No, not frozen, like fridge cold. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. And and an Italian guy, he's like, it comes from the mountain up there. So up there in the mountain there, they come the water from there, come down very cold of the Roman Empire. Very intelligent people that bring down it from there. I'm like, well, there you go. I didn't even know that. But it was so cold. I was amazed. And it's like the city is still the same, but built brand
all
new.
the racist complaints, all the Italian viewers, you can email Manuel on All Limits podcast.
Put me on All Limits podcast if you have any issues.
What the fuck was that about it with the water?
Wait, what are you doing to the Italian accent there, my naya?
A part of me was getting fucked off, but I was all right with it.
Well, we're losing track. Look,
I'll chuck in a Latino joke.
look. Anyways, let's fast forward.
Yeah.
We can go all day with this.
Yeah.
Because we can talk about it. But look, at the end of the day, we gotta as well understand where they're coming from. If you look at the history, like you said about the movie of what's it? The cage, the
rabbit-proof fence.
Rabbit-proof fence, right? Look, the white people that came black back in the day, they were terrible people. They're terrible people. They did what they did to these innocent civilization. It could have turned somewhere different. Obviously, those we got to remember, different generation, different mindset, different thought. We're in a different generation now, different people. We all want to get along. We all want to love each other. We all want to celebrate this beautiful country that's giving other nationalities, opportunity. Like for me and you and other parts of the world, we got Sudanese people as well who are coming from a country of war, trying to come here and start their own thing. A lot of parts of the world, we all want to get along, celebrate this country giving us opportunity, which is good. And that's what I'm trying to say. But at the end of the day, what do you think that will solve this problem that we have every single year? Because when I was watching today, I was watching Pauline Hanson.
Yeah, no, the worst fucking spokesman on the right.
I was watching her and it was a video. I think they were doing a podcast or a radio podcast or something. And they was talking to another Aboriginal guy. I think he's a famous Aboriginal guy. But
Anthony Mundine.
Yeah,
I know the one that you're
he's Muslim.
Yeah.
And she was trying to explain her part. And I get where she's coming from because it's like, I'm Australian too. I was born here. This. She's trying to explain her part. And I can tell, but he's like, nah, but it doesn't change the fact. I'm like, she's like, I get that. It doesn't change the fact, and I get that. But it's history, though. We now, and I realize I'm like, okay, I get where you're coming from because you're trying to be like, look, dude, we're pretty much together now. I was born here. You know what I mean? I was born here. You're born here. Does that make us not Australian or Aboriginal or whatever that you want to call us? But at the end of that, my point is, at the end of it, they didn't hate each other. They kind of like, you see the video after, they're like hugging each other. They're all getting along and this and that. But but at the end of the day,
tension.
It's not uneased tension, bro. But she made a point. He made a point. This and that. I just want to throw that out there. But the one thing I want to bring up.
I've got a slight reflection on that.
Before we get, I know you're getting into it deep.
Yeah.
But before we move, let's move on from that.
Yeah, sure.
Did you hear what happened today? Where the neo-Nazi were planning to take the Prime Minister captive?
Now, tell me a bit about it, because 10 grand
Bro,
isn't enough.
are you serious?
10 grand.
So today we found out
Poor elbow.
that these neo-Nazi people here in Australia, if other parts of the world are listening, here in Australia, we have this organization of neo-Nazis. I don't know where they're from. I think they're mostly from South Africa or just crazy white
They
people.
go to the same barber.
Go to the same.
They dress at the same shop. They all look like
They all look the same.
You know, Cool Runnings. You know about the bobsled team.
Yeah.
If there was villains in that show, these are the neo-Nazis. They've all got the black jacket that matches. They've got it zipped up to the neck. I don't get that.
And it's a hot degrees. Anyways,
They've got the mullets, the weird fucking ski glasses. I'm like,
what's going on here?
what are you doing?
So these neo-Nazis were actually online planning to kidnap the Prime Minister is because of what happened in Bondi. And they were going to pay somebody $10,000 to rent a van. It's not enough, bro.
Not enough.
What do you mean?
Fucking elbow.
10 grand.
What's the matter with you?
10 grand, bro.
I would have been spewing. If I was elbow, I'd be like, what the fuck?
I'd be like, look.
10,000, my ass is worth $10,000, mate.
Look,
I don't get out of bed for $10,000.
I'll be like this. I'll be like, okay, thank God I'm not kidnapped. But fucking 10, is that how much I'm worth? 10
I
grand?
wonder how much I'd be. I'd be fucking
$2, bro.
100 Jack's meal, you reckon?
Not even, bro. Like a cheeseburger meal, $1.50.
Oh, yeah. Are we sponsored by McDonald's? I think we can
Well,
get
I don't know.
sponsored now.
If I was sponsored by
Sponsor us.
McDonald's, I'll put it right
Sponsor
there.
us.
Sponsor us.
Dun, 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 dun.
Anyways, and it was 10 grand. They were going to do 10 grand
Yeah.
to kidnap the Prime Minister
Yeah.
because of the Bondi attacking.
Mm.
As well, they were planning to put bombs in every mosque in Western Sydney, every mosque you can think of in Sydney, and blow it up. So now
I didn't know
this
about that
situation.
side of it.
So
Yeah.
now that's what I mean. I dove deep into it
Yeah.
because it just came out today. Okay, today on Australia Day, the 26th of January, 2026.
Deliberately told today.
No, they legit. We just found out not moments ago, and they were
Yeah, but
doing
they,
it.
They do it on Australia Day.
Yeah, on Australia Day, of
to
course,
start some shit.
of course. I don't know what the other fucking days.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but the funny thing is, they found it on. Guess what fucking platform they were using to communicate these bananas in pajamas?
B1.
Big two.
Are you ready to pick up the promise?
Guess what?
B1, let's do it. Hey, what's the name of the friend?
I don't know. I don't know.
The girl that's the bear.
I don't
The
know
chick.
clue.
Oh, what are you? Oh my god.
Anyways,
The bunny.
guess what fucking platform they use
Yeah.
to communicate?
Snapchat.
Nah.
Tickety tax. I don't know.
Discord.
I'm 46, man.
Discord.
Man, I'm trying to operate. Someone came to me, oh, have you got that app? I went, mate, I gave up on life. I'm like that fucking old dude from the Shawshank Redemption. I gave up.
Then use Discord.
I don't want to live in this world no more.
Do you know what Discord is?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, Discord is a chat
yeah,
organization that you use to live stream whatever. It's for usually gaming. Dude, they were talking on Discord, planning what to do, when to do it, blah, blah, blah. The bombing, they actually arrested the guy yesterday around 6 to 8 p.m. They arrested him. They arrested another guy. So that guy was, the other one, the first one I said, was going to kidnap the Prime Minister for 10 grand, which is a bit fucking low, if you ask me. Should be at least a milli. But anyways, the other guy, he was actually bragging on the online website or the chat saying that he is a specialist in making ready powerful bombs, and he was going to deliver every mosque, and the mosques were getting threats, preparing them to say, prepare yourself for Australia Day.
Fucking
But lucky, I want to say it again, lucky that the police caught it on time.
Yeah, that's Asia.
And you know, it's good because
Well done, Asia.
well done fucking policeman to get this and protecting the Prime Minister and stuff.
Asia-
Some people would disagree.
would have got it, and Asia would have passed it on to New South Wales or wherever that was.
Yeah.
Because Asia's tapping your phones.
Are you listening to me right now?
Yep.
I don't know if they are
And then
listening.
you say certain trigger words, and then you get flagged for about 2 weeks. And then after a while, if you don't really say anything, they kind of let you go. But if you start saying other weird and wonderful shit, you get tailed for a while. And
Wait, a
like
whole-
for over 6 yeah.
How the hell do you know that?
And that's what Asia does. Like, yeah.
I'm a bit suspicious now.
Yeah, well, you know, the intelligence organisations, you can't, like CIA's in America, they're tapping phones like non-stop.
Oh, yeah, and
Everyone-
America makes sense.
Well, with the UFO stuff, Dr. Greer, he goes, there's never anything in this world that's not being surveillanced.
Okay,
Not one single thing. Even encrypted messaging is deciphered.
So
They've got the technology to do it.
So since you said UFO, that's our next topic.
Well, the next topic.
Well,
but
the
yeah,
next
yeah,
topic coming
yeah.
up now, actually, because I was going to say
You want to move
now.
on from everything?
Huh?
You moved on from everything?
Oh, we moved on from everybody.
Yeah,
Everything,
again?
sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, we moved
yeah.
on.
No,
So
right. Cool.
I was going to say before he brought it up. Now we're going to talk about, since Joe is all about horror stories, and we
Yes,
cannot
yeah.
do a Joe show without talking about something
Yeah.
scary or
Yeah.
something, you know, pretty much something scary or horror. But today's topic is about UAPs. And
You know me.
and the one famous thing that I really want to talk about, and I know like the basics, is the famous crash of Roswell and the
Yes.
history of it.
Yes.
Now, bro, can you tell me any stories that you know about that? Because that's back in the day.
Yeah, interesting one too. There was one actually pre-Roswell. So Roswell happened in the 50s.
Yeah.
That put kind of Area 51 on the map, and that's what everyone refers to. So the problem with that is that the US government then had to find another place to do UFO stuff with.
But
So-
the funny thing is, before you say that, Roswell before was the atomic bomb.
Yes, there's also
And
it's
what
a
did I
testing
know
area.
of?
Yeah, Utah testing area.
What
yeah.
did I know
Yeah.
of from because I like I don't want to say like I do research on UFOs. I listen to a lot of Joe Rogan's podcasts.
Yep.
If Joe Rogan, if you're listening, can you get me on there?
Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah.
I listen to a lot because he's really into UFOs. I really got into UFOs as well, especially when I was during COVID.
Yeah. Also, when you're a kid.
That's right, as a kid.
What movie did you watch that got you into UFOs as a kid?
Independence Day.
Oh, nice.
Independence Day.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, if there's a movie about fucking World War invasion,
Mine was
this is
Flight of the
fucking-
Navigator.
oh,
Right. So, Flight of the Navigator. Let me get this up here on a GIF because Flight of the Navigator was the first movie with Sarah Jessica Parker in it.
okay,
And she was in her young, like early 20s.
okay.
Right. And let me type like a fucking boomer and just excuse me for a moment.
Anyways, since he's doing what he's doing, yeah, with the
I look
whole
like that old lady, you know, the meme with the glasses. No.
with the whole what I know and what really got to me is that's the latest thing that's happening because you know since 2022, 2023
Yeah.
or 2024, one of those, the government's coming out with a lot of information about UAPs
to.
and aliens and this and that. So
Yep,
this is
they
really
have
good
to.
because if you're one of those like UFO or aliens fucking people who like to listen to that, it's really good. But what I found out is
shit. Look at this. This is the
Show me.
GIF of all the spaceships,
oh shit,
right, that were featured in the movie.
yeah, wow.
Now you can either save that. I'm going to send that to you. Then you can put it up on screen, show your viewers afterwards because it's
Somewhere
wicked,
around here.
right. And the thing about that movie, right, is the kids inside it. The craft looked weird, right? There was no way to get in, like blah blah. He gets in these weird stairs thing. He comes in, then he's inside. Then the ship looked bigger on the inside than it did on the outside, which is what a lot of people have talked about when they do abductions or like talk about what it looks like on the inside.
It's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. That's what I've heard as well.
When I heard all that, right, and then I was listening to Dr. Greer and he was talking about how there's two different ships, right? So there's the UAEs, which is the man-made, designed human craft that we use now. That's as a UFO, and then there's the extraterrestrial version of it.
And
Right.
am I wrong? In the extraterrestrial one
Is the one from space. These are actually aliens.
yeah,
Right.
Are those the quiet ones, or the other one is the human ones quiet as well?
I don't know, but we have somehow worked out to knock out the extraterrestrial ones.
Is the Vajivia case? Aliens, UAPs. No, because I sent you that video.
The black eye peas.
The what?
You seen the black eye peas?
No, I sent you the. What are you talking about? Nah, you know that video, the video I sent you about the Vajivia case.
Yes, and like me in high school,
Yeah, you
I
didn't
didn't fucking do my homework.
Yeah,
Anyway,
you didn't do
okay.
his fucking homework. Fucking hell. Now, anyways, bro, that case is so crazy because it's just like no one knew. No, funny thing is, no one knew about this Vajivia case until somebody from I think some guy. The video I sent you from the podcast, he did a case on it, and he was like, "What the fuck? Like, who knew about this Vajivia case? Like,
No one.
no one knew, bro. But it happened in 1996.
Well, everyone talks about Roswell, but there was an actual solid craft that crashed in Italy in 1936,
Oh, there
right
you
in the
go.
middle of World War II. And Mussolini grabbed all his. They went up there, they took it, and they hit it in an Italian Air Force base, and that was all intact. But then after the war, the Americans grabbed it and sent it back.
That's what I've noticed.
But they had it. Like the Italians had aliens there the whole entire time. This craft.
But since the last episode, my dog has barked again. I don't know.
It's about me. It's something. I'm the
you
dog
brought something
whisperer.
in his ear. Yeah.
I'm a dog whisperer.
Anyways, one thing I've noticed about the Americans is that they've always taken aliens like stuff. As soon as something like appears from like UFO or an alien contact or anything, Americans, boom, they come in. They come in, they come intake, they question people. The Men in Black come in. They question people. But before we get even into it, because we could talk about this all day.
Well, at the end of World War, so at the end of World War II, when they took the Nazi scientists and brought them into NASA, right? The German scientists that they took explained to them what technologies they had and what they were working on, what project they finished, and what projects they were half done with, right? So it was lucky that World War II ended when it did, because the Germans and their massive, amazing engineering, you got to give credit when credit's due.
Oh yeah, no,
these dudes had fucking jet fighters, like they were ready to go. Like we were a bee's dick close.
And the tanks, don't forget the tanks.
Yeah, from talking German. Like these guys were so close to like invading England, succeeding. Like, so when, again, that book, you know, The Man in the Tall Castle, High Castle, was really not a far off premise. Like we got really close. So when NASA did well and succeeded, because those scientists then were able to assist in creating rocket ships and rocket technology and all that kind of stuff. Some of the crafts that they were coming out with looked extraterrestrial. They didn't look like the average kind of plane. Now, unless Hans got really good at fucking drawing in 2 years, like, you know, suddenly there was these weird dome-shaped fucking crafts and stuff. So I wonder if that was the one that landed in Italy in the 30s, and then the Americans got it, and then they kind of took the design from that, because everyone focuses on Roswell. That's not by accident, mind you. They want you focused on that and not on other shit.
But you know what? One thing that really got to my attention is like why out of everything after World War II or during World War II, the aliens appeared? Like they came that time.
I thought the same thing, because I thought it's unusual, because
I got the answer for that too.
There's an Australian one that came in 1968. The UFOs appeared in Victoria in a high school or in a school grounds.
Oh, I remember. I know about that one.
Right. I'm ad-libbing here, but all the kids, teachers, kids, like they all saw this thing. This thing like fucking landed, like and I don't know if they had contact and the actual species left the ship and people saw it, or the alien or whatever. But what I remember in the story is that probably about 20 minutes or half an hour later, the Australian military were fucking everywhere.
Yeah, of course, bro.
Right?
Of course.
So then I was thinking, were they tracking it? Like, or did it get out by accident? And did it move on? Because there's another really great podcast show that I want to tell everyone about. He's Oz Campers. He's on TikTok, and he's covering paranormal stories, and he's doing the Tiers of Conspiracy in Australia. So yeah, definitely follow him. He's really. I'll just make sure I got that correct.
But you know what, bro? I want to touch on that topic because I know about that one, and I was watching. Oh whoa! I was. Hey, oh.
Tombstone. Oh, I like it.
Anyways, since we're talking about that topic, the same. That, I know that case, right? Yeah. The aliens. There was a spacecraft. Yeah. The spacecraft landed, got up from the trees. So it went where the trees were, landed, got up, and then effed off. Moments after. Yeah. Yeah, the Americans came. The Australian military came, and then when they went there,
talking to the kids, started saying, "Shut up about it. You can't draw it. You can't talk about it." And I'm thinking, "Fuck."
And then they went exactly where the alien landed, and they were like testing it. There was a radiation, all of that kind of situation. Yeah. But the same thing happened in Africa.
Oh right.
Same thing happened in Africa, but the aliens actually came out.
Right.
They actually came out of the spacecraft. So same situation.
Yep.
In the middle, somewhere in Africa, in the middle of nowhere, same situation happened. The aliens, they saw a spacecraft coming out, like floating around. They landed, right? And then the teachers and kids came out. They're like, what the fuck is this? And then when actually aliens came out, they're wearing a black suit, little greys. They were playing around with the kids. They're like playing around. They weren't aggressive. They weren't nothing. They were marking around. They were playing around, this and that. And then they were just they were telling him like, look, you shouldn't be. Technology is going to kill you guys. It's giving off a message.
Sorry.
Let's get the fucking laugh out of me, bro. Can you turn that down?
Look, I'm a boomer, right? Fucking relax.
Let's get the crap out of me.
I'm trying to got here. Got Oz.
Hold on. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I had to change the battery on the camera. But anyways, Joe,
It was aliens.
don't say that. I don't want aliens, man.
What was that? What was the you know what happens if this window was open and it was like the movie Signs, and then that fucking grey alien just ran past? And
bro, you know what? You know how you're so scared of that fucking thing? Like,
I don't get it. That wasn't scary, that scene. Everyone's like, oh, that's the most scariest scene in the world. I'm like, what?
dude, aliens scare the fuck out of me more than it does with fucking demons and stuff.
I'd be like, hurry up, do the lawn.
You'd be like this. Hell.
Oh, you got a Victor lawnmower out there.
Hey, you be like this. I'll be like this. Oh, you run across here. You got water the grass over there.
I walk out and I go, like, and then it just starts mowing. Like,
you be like, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Yeah, don't have to pay him nothing.
Yeah. Free labor, boys.
No, I'll give him a beer. I'm not a dickhead. Like,
I'll be like, hey, you want beer?
Hey, you want a beer?
Bro, can you imagine? You'd be like, do you want a beer? You'd be like, what's this?
well.
Just fucking drink it, bro. Just drink it.
Yeah, and then fucking,
So he sent me a video of describing of the situation that happened in Melbourne.
Yes.
So we're just gonna put it on here.
Do you believe in aliens, UFOs, and believe that they have actually been sighted before?
Oz
Because one of the
Camper.
most famous and widely spoken
Great
about UFO
TikTok.
sightings in the world actually has happened in Melbourne, Australia in 1996. I'm talking about the Westall UFO sighting. This UFO sighting went so
96.
widespread that even Joe
96. I
Rogan has
thought it was
spoken
the
about this
50s.
on his podcast.
68.
Now, essentially, in 1996, 200 students of Westall Primary School and 12 teachers witnessed a UFO landing in the middle of the day at the back of the primary school. 3 students had actually jumped the fence and encountered this UFO up close and personal, and this story becomes crazy. Apparently, one student passed out and had to go to the hospital. One student came back terrified in fear, while one sat there and just witnessed this UFO take off. And this story becomes even more wild and crazy because apparently the government officials that had come to the school had told everyone that they were not allowed to speak of this UFO sighting and it wasn't real, and the school were punishing the kids if they did speak about this or draw photos of it and everything like that. Now, the girl that did actually pass out while she was at this UFO sighting went missing. The house that she lived in was actually now occupied by new people, and they said that she had never lived there before. What? Follow the page because we're going to dive deeper into this wild ass shit.
Oh well,
My phone's not
there you go.
working. What the? Oh, man, that's weird.
Oh well, what's going on here? The government's
Every
listening.
time-
The government's
Every
listening.
time I hear the X-Files, because I was in high school right when the X-Files came out,
Yeah.
right? And I remember everyone's like, "Oh, you're gonna go and see the X-Files tonight? You're gonna watch the X-Files tonight?" So we were taping it, we were watching it at home, and the next day at school we'd come in. Oh my god, the X-Files! Like that show was amazing. So, but the
But
first
you know
time,
that reminds me of the Valkyria case. You see, 1996, the same situation that happened in Brazil,
yeah.
right? And in Brazil,
Oh yes, yeah.
in Brazil, because he didn't do his homework. Shame
That's
on you.
right.
Shame
yeah.
on you.
Fucking
But
typical.
anyways, the Valkyria case, bro, is so fucking so interesting for me
Mm.
because there's actual like evidence from the people. And like the people, the doctor, everyone who saw the girls, the 3 girls that actually saw. There's 3 girls that saw this alien in broad daylight, exactly like it happened in Melbourne, but it's during the day, right? They were walking down. I think it must have been an alleyway. It was like an alleyway in Brazil. And so the Valkyria is in the middle of. So they got Rio de Janeiro, and then there's like another one on top of like another city. So it's in the middle. So these girls are walking through, and they spot an alien just randomly, just sitting just exactly as far as you can see where that chair is. It's not even that far. Just randomly just seeing. It looked injured.
Right.
It looked injured,
Yeah,
right?
Stacked it. Yeah.
So it must be something wrong with it. The 2 girls left, as I would. I'll shoot myself and then run, or throw something at it. And the girl stayed. And then the girl was saying, like, I was like, it straight away started talking to me. First, it said, "Do not be afraid." So, what does that remind you of?
Yeah.
That reminds you of
yeah,
religious,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
if you want to get really into it, it kind of like when I hear cases and people say like, oh, as soon as they say "do not be afraid," I felt like peace.
It's like Dr. Greer said that when we get visited by extraterrestrials, these beings are a high advanced society to us and a species.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They are peaceful. It's only Hollywood that said that they're violent and they want to do everything and they want to do Battle of LA and all those kind of movies. It's us making this shit up, like to get us scared of something we don't understand.
100%.
So they're timid coming to us because we're so primitive, but we're so violent, and they keep coming back in time to visit us, and we're doing some nasty shit. Like today we're divided as a group of people. Like
we're fighting over resources and whatever.
20, 30 years ago, we were doing the same thing. Then we're in the middle of a world war. Then there's something happening over here. Then someone shot off a nuclear weapon. Like the nuclear weapon in Japan sent a red flag out into space.
That's what I was going to bring up before we were meant to read. There was a bit of an issue, but that's the thing that I wanted to bring up. That what really interested me is, you know what we said before, just I think the camera was recording, but this wasn't. We had an issue.
Aliens.
Yeah, about aliens. What I said to you is, out of all the time of the day, right, the aliens come back at World War II. As soon as during World War II, after World War II, we started seeing a lot of like people saying, I'm getting adopted, da 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 da. And then I'm like, why World War II out of everything? But then some guy, I think it was lately, described that as soon as the bomb dropped, and we all know that the atomic bomb is 2 atoms split. So if you want to get science, really scientific on it, soon as a bomb dropped, it sent a big, massive wave through the space, and then the aliens are like, okay, what the fuck is that?
Like the ants have worked out something.
What's going on? Like fucking split, 2 atoms split. We haven't seen that since the fucking creation of fucking the universe. What's going on? Track back. Go back to fucking Earth. No, what the fuck? What are these bananas doing? These apes or these ants? What are they doing? That makes sense to me.
That's why it's an interesting one, because and it always fascinated me as a kid, because I like science, but I'm also from a Catholic background.
Religious background.
So without rubbing out the other, right, I would say, okay, what does science say about this species of animal or this plant or this planet or like the cosmos? Or so when I used to watch documentaries and it talked about the galaxy, how you've got Earth, Pluto, Saturn,
Mars,
the Moon, the other one about your bum, Uranus, that one there, or Uranus. How do they say? There's actually we've been saying it wrong the whole time. It's like Uranus or something. Some other word for saying it's not Uranus. It's actually
uterus,
not uterus, but it's like Uranus. It's like how we say it wrong apparently. Anyway, so all these planets together, and they then form the galaxy, but then that's only a small galaxy. And then when you you zoom out of that, it's even bigger, and there's other stuff around. So the chances of actual extraterrestrials went up at that point. That's when everyone said, well, hang on, there's more chances of extraterrestrials being around. So then I started to say to myself, well, okay, where does God fit into this? Like, did he create all the multiple universes, or did he just create that one? No. And he's just there on that side because it's so grand and big that he's only created that side of the universe, and the other universes are around, and there's other higher beings making other shit as well.
You know what, bro? That's actually a good point putting it, because like...
And then it got so big and I went, my fucking head hurts, and I've got a mortgage, I've got 2 kids. I can't think of this shit. Like,
too much.
Fucking ADHD brain sitting down. Like,
before we move on, before we get distracted, let me tell you about the Vajiri case, because you went off topic.
Sorry.
So, yeah.
It's high school all over again. Joe, sit down. Come on, fucking shut up.
Typical Joe. Anyways, so yeah, I was telling you about the 3 girls. Yeah. They saw this thing. And before we went off topic, the alien itself said to the girl, do not be afraid. But then she said, I could feel his emotions. I could feel he's frightened, he's scared, he's injured. He needed help. And I wanted to help him. Or it's whatever. And then it was telling her, like, I need help. And like, take me to like a place that can like help me, or blah, 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 blah. So she went out. I think the alien, if I can remember, the alien, I think, tried to run away or something, because it got scared.
Yeah.
And there was a police that grabbed it. And then obviously grabbed it and then put it in the car. And obviously that typical cop.
I can see this little alien just in the back of the squad car, like, What you gonna do?
He's like, he's not the only one he takes down.
Start playing the theme song for Cops. Like, what you gonna do when they come for you? Bad alien.
No.
Wasn't me, man. It was the other dude driving. You
Oh,
fucking
fucking hell, Joe. But anyways, the policeman, I think the alien obviously has that intelligence. They can talk through to our brain. Telepathy, right? And it's telling him that I'm injured, I need help, this and that. So the policeman obviously took him to the nearest hospital. The doctor got freaked out and he's like, nah, get the fuck that thing out of here. Get the fuck out of here. But the funny thing is that really got to me, right, is that the stench. Because a lot of people say to him it has this stench. And his stench is like, you can't describe the stench. It's just, it's worse than shit. So it's really bad. Must be pretty bad. Little alien
in the back of the squad car. Like, midget for fucks.
Oh, man, I've been eating too much beans. Anyways, and then the policeman took him to this hospital, took at him, right? And the funny, what really was crazy is that the policeman got scratched by the alien. That's recent that we found out because they said it gave like the policeman after it died a couple days after from a disease that it gave it. But we were like, how did it give it the disease?
Rest in peace.
Right? But the alien has nails, scratched him by accident. Obviously, he's held it. The disease went into his system, and fucking bro. What was crazy when I was watching the documentary? The policeman is like, the doctor's like, bro, this disease was was out of this world. It was just eating this fucking guy's DNA. It was doing something to it. It was just deteriorating rapidly fast. We tried everything. We couldn't do anything. The guy died. I don't know what they did with the body. I don't know if the fucking Americans came and took her or they burnt her. I don't know.
For sure. They would have taken the body for
but
sure.
But the crazy thing is the actual doctor itself was trying to help out this alien and this alien was actually communicating. Obviously the doctor's scared and, I would be fucking scared. I would be fucking shitting myself. Like, what the fuck is this thing, But then when he was describing it, he felt peace. He's like, because the same thing, the alien said the same thing. He's like, do not be afraid, this and that. And he felt actually like peaceful and he wanted to help the alien. And obviously the army came and took the alien. And then the army people came, the Americans came and did what they needed to do. But after the whole alien situation, there's been actually multiple people, right? Other multiple people that actually seen the alien like UFO crash and has seen like another alien looking for that other alien.
Shit, like a recovery.
Yeah, shit. Looking for it, going up and down. You can see the videos going up and down, walking, and after went out of here.
Mate, that'd be so cool if it sounded like that. Like fucking. Oh, fucking like. But
then there was another one that I think the army grabbed the alien and put it at the back of the van or back of the car. You know that army, the army truck.
These aliens in the back seat of cars. Someone needs to draw that. Get that on Gok. That's so fucking hilarious. Like just sitting there with little hands like. What did I do wrong? What you going?
So with a little handcuffs like this. And then that's what I know of. But this whole Vajirya case, it's just it's so crazy. It's like it's not like the crash of Roswell. It's like rumors. There's an alien. We don't know. It got crashed at Roswell. Out of all the part of the world,
is Mothman an alien? Because I'm not familiar with Mothman.
Is Chupacabra alien?
Fucking hell! Like that's a whole kettle of fish. Like man. Yeah.
But you know what really got to me, and I don't really know much about, is that you're talking about the changing of what was it called? The shifting. What's it called?
Shape-shifting.
Shapeshifter.
Yes. Well, this is the confusing thing about Shapeshifter Ranch or the Sherman Ranch, right? So. The Shermans, I'm just trying to think. So there's the Myers family or the Mears family, Meyers family. They had this ranch in Utah, and there was a cattle farm right? So and they did cattle and that kind of stuff. Ironically enough, where the Sherman Ranch is located and Roswell, Area 51, is only 600 something Ks away from each other.
Yeah, you showed me that 8 hours away.
Something bizarre. It's not like, because when I started looking at the doco for it, I thought, hang on, like, because they showed the thing and then they showed Nevada, and I went, well, fuck, I'm not savvy with the geography of America, like where all the little states are in the middle of the Midwest and all that kind of stuff. So when I saw Nevada, I thought, hang on, that's not far. Like, I want to see how far this ranch is to Area 51, and it's only 616 kilometres.
Yeah.
Right, which is not far. So if you're thinking spaceship wise, traveling somewhere,
Yeah.
it's not far, man. It's like the sneezes and they're there. Like, and because I thought it was so funny how this one particular place got absolutely pummeled with appearances like orbs, weird shape looking spaceships. Some of them look like the movie Flight of the Navigator spaceship.
Yeah, they look like diamonds. I keep seeing that diamonds or like look like cigars, like cigar shape.
And it's always about lights and orbs. They do a lot of that as well. So it kind of got me thinking, hang on, is this made ships and they're experimenting with stuff? Because the weird thing for me was the animal mutilations on the cattle, right?
Oh.
So the cattle, when they used to find, for the first thing was it got the name Shapeshifter Ranch because when everyone moved in between 94 and 96, I think the Shermans were in. They were only there for a short period of time. They got the fuck out. Like, it was weird. Right, what was going on? So, and then between 96 and I've got the times up here because there was a lot and I took notes because I wanted to make sure I got it correct because it's a fascinating story and like I said, I just want to make sure that I got my shit.
Well, luckily the bottle was empty.
Yeah,
I think he had a bit too many beers.
Right. I'm just a klutz. That's my superpower. Here we go. Got the stats here. So between 94 and 96, the Sherman family moved in, and it got nicknamed the Skinwalker Ranch. Now, the reason for that was the first day that they moved in. First, they were trying to deal with the weirdness that this whole entire ranch kind of was semi-decrepit. Now, there was a reason why it was decrepit, and I'll get on to that later. And there was chains around the house. It was heavily secured, and all that kind of stuff. And they just kind of thought, oh, well, the original owners were eccentric. It's all good, no probs. Then, when the people were moving in, there was an encounter with a wolf.
Huh?
Right. Now, everyone was there. This wolf came out of the distance and approached the ranch.
Okay.
Right. Now, as it got closer, it got bigger, and then they realised the actual size. So, two of the workers that were with them, helping them move in, were like 6 foot dudes, right? This wolf came up to their chest. That's how big this thing was, right?
Wolf.
But it didn't look aggressive. They were saying like it was like a wolf-like, dog-like creature, right? But it had really bright blue eyes, right? And it just came up to them like it didn't give two shits. It wasn't scared of humans. It was like they lived around humans or whatever. It wasn't showing any signs of aggression, right? It pretty much walked straight up to them. And so the kids were patting it. They were patting it. I don't know what they were patting. I was fucking like, I'm not patting it,
what
mate.
the fuck is it? Go and get the axe. Get something,
you can
bro.
tell we're from that background because
Yeah.
I'm telling
Hey,
you.
you go grab the axe. Where this is shit.
One of the rallies, you would have heard it crack because Zio would have shot it with a gun or
Yeah,
something
what the fuck, bro? This would be me. Honestly,
Here's
this would
the
be me.
interesting bit. They weren't that chilled about it. Some other people started fucking firing up, going, this is weird, right? Because suddenly it just saw this calf that was near the mum of the sheep and just turned and mauled the fuck out of it in front of everyone. Just turned.
And
Like,
just ate that sheep.
just mauled the fuck out of it. Like the cow, like a calf, right?
Oh.
So they were like shit, and they were trying to save it. So they started shooting it. So they got this gun and they shot it, and it did nothing, right? They got this other one. They got a high-powered rifle and they shot it, right, like an elk gun. Like they fired into it, right? And it took flesh off, like it like really hit it. And it didn't give two shits. Like it didn't react to it at all. It just kind of looked at it. Like it just kind of looked at him going like, why are you shooting at me? Like it just seemed like it was confused by it. And then it left. That's the only skinwalker kind of thing that happened to this. This is why it's weird, why it got nicknamed Skinwalker Ranch, because the indigenous groups around that area believed in skinwalkers. So the skinwalkers in native lore are kind of people that have killed a family member, have consumed their flesh, and have gone into black magic, right? Okay. And that's what. So they have the ability now to shape shift into an animal, like a predatorial animal or whatever. It's all about the Appalachian Mountains. I'm not an expert on it. Mm-hmm. I don't know a lot of info on it. All I know is that it's creepy. So do your Google Appalachian Mountains, look into it, do your research. It's freaky shit, right? Plenty of videos on TikTok about it too. So if you don't want to read but you want someone to tell you the story about it, by all means go on TikTok and check it out. It's
that's interesting,
cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, massively.
But you know what? From you were saying, how many? They're not that far. Well, they are. It's like from Adelaide, from Adelaide to Melbourne.
What's that?
Area 51 and that ranch.
Oh, it's not here. It's in the US.
No, I'm just saying, like, that's how far it is. If you compare it to, like, Adelaide to Melbourne, that's 8 hours, right? You showed me the actual map. How far it is from there is 8 hours. Do you ever thought that maybe that's actually kind of related to Area 51? Out of all the places, bro, it's not that far from there. And we have no fucking idea what kind of fucking thing they have in Area 51. God knows what they have. They probably have different types of alien species down there, dude. And one of them got out.
Yeah, Dr. Greer was talking about like all the different ships that they make and test with human crew.
Bob Lazar, man, he talks about it all.
Yeah, exactly. So these guys here, and then that's why there's two different types of ships. That there's the man-made ones that the military use for their defence or weaponry or whatever. So that kind of ended up happening. So the 2 years that the Shermans were there, all this weird and wonderful shit, sightings and all that stuff. The major thing that was happening with their cattle, and this is what got my attention, right, was the mutilations.
Yeah.
But the time between when Mr. Sherman was next to a cow, like next to like a cattle, right, left, came back within 40 minutes, right, which is really not a lot of time.
It's not.
Right. The same cattle, like not calf, but the cow, was in half, organs removed, blood drained. Now, that's what got my attention, the blood drain, because they should have been fucking blood everywhere. Right?
Sounds like chupacabra.
In order to get blood out of an animal, you have to hang it upside down.
Yeah, to drain all the blood.
Now, you need equipment to do that. It's not like out on the plane. You'd need like a fucking equipment, to hang it up.
You need a lot of people to hang that up too. It's not heavy. It's not easy.
Heavy, right?
It's fucking heavy.
It's heavy. So he came back. He finds this carcass. It's in half. Organs removed. All the organs. Yeah. Internal organs removed. Right. That's a feat in itself. Without doing, if you're cutting in and going into like anatomy wise, what we're talking, you're going into the cattle that way. It's not easy, right? Then the blood draining, that's the other weird one too, because you'd have to hang it upside down and drain it. And it takes a long time to drain an animal completely dry of all the blood before you do anything. This was 40 minutes to 45 minutes that he was there and came back. Like there was zero reason for that to happen, but there it was. It was like it wanted to show. The other weird shit too was the substance around it. It was like this brownish grey, liquidy, touchy liquid that was around the carcass, on the carcass and around the carcass. But that was the only liquid. There was no blood. There was nothing like that. And it didn't massively stain the area either.
Interesting.
It was really, really weird, right? So that happened. He recorded it, whatever. Then it happened more times, and then they left. I'm paraphrasing because there was a lot of stuff that happened. And if you go, there's a YouTube video that I shared with you about it. That's probably the good one that gets into. Yeah, so the the thing that interested me was the mutilation. So Mr. Sherman leaves a cow. And within 40 minutes to 45 minutes, as he documents in the book, he comes back and the cow is in half, surgically cut in half, like smooth cut, right? Organs removed, blood drained. That's what I got.
Meat's still there. Meat's still there.
That's what got my attention, because if you grow up and whatever, ethnics, they kill the pig, like, whatever, right?
Well, yeah.
You hang a pig upside down when you drain it of the blood, right? It's a long process. It's not quick, to drain the carcass.
How long do you think the process takes with the carcass? Like 2, 3, 4 hours?
I don't know. I wouldn't know. But it's not 40 minutes, and a cow. This is, and there would have been equipment used, the setup involved.
Yeah,
and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's nuts.
you have to lift it up to drain all of that down.
Yeah. Anyway, and to systematically remove all the organs from the inside of it in this cut in half cow, on the ground, and then around it, the other thing that got my attention was the liquid. It's like this browny, sticky liquid substance that he'd never textured, was weird, like he'd never seen that before. And they all had this cut and liquid around them, like every mutilation that happened since from that period of time up until 96 when they left, right? Then there's a millionaire at Bigelow, not Juice Bigelow, Male Bigelow. It's spelled different, so the Mr. Bigelow comes along and he takes over the ranch, right?
Right.
He starts seeing stuff as well, because he's leading up some kind of paranormal thing, because he was totally into it. That's why he bought it, because he was like, wow, I'm hearing all this weird shit stories. I want to see what happens. It continues. It's not like it slowed down. There was things happening apparently later on that the Shermans were reporting. That the Mears were reporting, that the Sun explained later on down the track in one of the books, because the problem with this story is that there was 3 separate books written about it, and all 3 separate books muddied the water on exactly what happened, right? The Shermans did their account of what was being seen. Other people then were accusing him of making stuff up. Then Bigelow comes out with a book. Everyone has a go at him about making shit up, and then someone else writes a book. Then the defense writes a book, because the US Army then eventually take over this thing, right?
Oh, really?
They come in and they buy the farm, right? So I'm thinking, okay, and again, the encounters continue. It doesn't stop. It keeps going. So then the US government's involved, right? They start doing weapons training, weaponry research. They had some acronym for it, and they started doing it, right? So they come out with this book, and it's all classified or whatever kind of thing, and so their thing, and then they leave, right? And the thing just kind of sits. I think it sits there. I'm not 100% sure. Hang on, let me.
This is such an interesting topic, because
let me get my
it's
notes back on it.
I don't it's so crazy. It's just not far from Area 51. Do you ever think that
Very
maybe
close, 600 k's?
Do you ever
away?
think that's
go.
from here to Adelaide to Melbourne?
Yeah, roughly, even close, shorter than that. Probably Mount Gambier, maybe.
Wow. Bro, it's not that far. You ever thought, you're getting my brain thinking.
Yeah, here we go. So 96 to 94, Bigelow, the billionaire, buys it, right? And then he forms up a thing, and it's got an acronym called National Institute for Discovery Science, or NIDS, NIDS. That's what he starts. So from 96 to 04, Bigelow's there. Then he leaves. 4 years, there's a gap. And then 2008 to 2016, the US government has it, right?
And it continues on still.
Yeah. So then they do weapons research there. So in 2016, Bigelow sold that's right. He owned it, but there was in that pit. Then he sells it to Brandon Fogel or whatever, and then he starts. He brings a team in, and for the History Channel, he then does a TV show about it and does full investigations and whatever. And people are a bit shirty about it because it looked a bit smoke and mirrors. And that's where everyone kind of got the shits on. But the thing that they said was interesting is that the activity didn't slow down each time the ranch changed hands. It just seemed to not care.
It kept going.
It just kept doing its thing, right? It just didn't give a shit, like who was watching, who was seeing, who was like whatever. You know, they had dogs with them, the Shermans, and it killed the dogs, right? It just obliterated the dogs. Like it got chased for ages. It tried to get away from these dogs. The dogs were fucking on it. The dogs got it cornered. It didn't like it. This orb ship didn't like it. The owners were running to it. All they heard was the dogs yelp. They got there and the dogs are burnt to a crisp.
Wow.
Like just cooked where they were standing, right?
Wow.
That's how intense the weaponry this thing had, right? And so it did all its best to escape. Then when it couldn't escape, it defended itself and annihilated what it was. So this shows you that they're peaceful until they can't be peaceful anymore and they have to defend themselves. And
then the funny thing is when you like talking about this, it's just like I don't know, that's crazy. But I haven't heard about that. This
was one of the accounts. It's in the YouTube episode.
The one I didn't do my homework.
That's it. And the thing. So with the Mias, the interesting thing is this is what the son then came out afterwards because he kind of got pissed off, and a lot of people were talking shit about the Skinwalker Ranch, and he said, look, I've got to set this record straight because everyone was kind of like talking about my mum and dad. So he came forward to kind of set this record straight. So the Mears Ranch, they had been there since the 30s. Now, in 1989, Kenneth died, right? And Edith went into a nursing home in 92. And then between 92 and 96, the kids owned it, right? Okay. Now, in between that time, the ranchers used it like to move cattle through that area, right? And then they eventually sold it to the Shermans in 96. So in between that time, the 3 books were created about Skinwalker Ranch. All 3 counteract each other, contradict, right? Wow. So if you don't really want to sit down and read, the other really good episode about this is the last podcast on the left. They do a funny... as they do, they're very comical with it. It's pretty good. It's good. And they do a full in-depth deep dive into the show, right? And they've also recently just did an update. So they did I think it's update on the left, they call it, and it talks about the Sherman. So obviously they found some new stuff and they've added to that as well. So they do really good research. So if you don't want to read... they do this unbiased, fully researched topic talk about it. So, definitely check it out.
Bro, that story is just like, wow, that's crazy. Like, it's just what I'm just thinking because like you're describing it and I'm like picturing in my head. I'm like, you're like a tall wolf and I'm like, sounds like a werewolf. Like a werewolf, but like at the same time, I'm like, could it be like another alien species that just escapes from like Area 51?
Well,
because you said it wasn't aggressive around humans, but he fucking when he saw like a sheep or like a cow, I wanted to eat it.
Yeah.
As like a normal wolf would.
Yeah.
But then it's like it's not far from Area 51. Like it could have escaped, and then just like out of all the places, that ranch is the one that got like.
Like it worked out that it was humans and that calf could be prey.
That's weird, man. It's already intelligent as it is. But then you said when they start shooting it, it's like, well, I have to kill these people. If not, I'll die.
Well, no. When it got shot, it still wasn't attacking the people. It was like looking at the people going,
no, but the army, you were saying about the army.
No. The situation, what happened was the people got freaked out, right? Because it started mauling the shit out of this calf, right? And the Shermans had their kids there, they had the thing, and everyone freaked out because I think this thing could have just done that now with our kids because our kids was patting it, right?
Yeah.
So they ran inside. They got the firearms. They fired into this thing,
And
right?
then you said it just
And
looked
it
at-
did nothing, right? So then they got an elk firearm, right, to deal with that, would take down elks, right?
That's something else.
They fired at close point blank range, almost point blank range, and it blew flesh off it, right? No, it just kind of looked at it looked at him going like, "Why are you firing on me?" And then it decided to go, "Well, I'm leaving now." So it just kind of casually just cruised off, like
That's
it
weird.
just didn't run because it was injured. It just didn't care, right?
Find it very interesting how like if you like other parts of the world when you hear like stories like that time when we were talking about Aswang, remember? And then you were like, where did that come from? And from the last episode, but this one here is fucking interesting, eh?
Well, yeah, because the Aswang, the Filipinos talk about the Aswang, and for everyone that doesn't know what the Aswang is, it's kind of like a vampiric creature
Shapeshifter.
that detaches its head from the body, but the spine is still attached with some of its organs, right? It then flies through the air. It seems to have a liking for pregnant women, and it goes down, and it will eat the embryo. It will suck the embryo out of the thing. That's why it's got a long tongue and pretty much sucks the baby out and eats the baby. Like that's the thing.
And it's a shapeshifter as well.
Not really a shapeshifter, but by the time that night finishes and the day starts, that head has got to get back to its body.
Weird.
And that's how you destroy it. If you can find the body and move it or hide it or get rid of it, you kill the Aswang.
That's weird.
The interesting thing is it's known by different names around that Asian area. So the Malaysians have got a thing for it. The Indonesians have got a thing for it. The Vietnamese, I think, it's all around that Asian area. So that story spread because of trade.
No, you are right. You are right because I saw this one in Thailand and they described it the same thing. And you said the way you described it, I was like, whoa.
So it's weird, and if you hear any noises on the roof or it freaks you out because you do hear these noises on the roof, so it could be a cat, it could be whatever. It's like an urban legend, but at the same time, because it's their belief patterns, you've got to respect that. Too, it's like in the forest, you're walking around the forest. My wife's talking about the dwindie. You just don't fuck around with it. You go, okay, look, this is a sacred thing to them. As a foreigner going in there, respect the law around the forest and don't be a dickhead and don't start doing stuff because you're going to start attracting things to them and it could affect them.
That's so interesting how like that
Customs,
whole ranch situation and then the whole it just it's crazy, bro. Like that's a very cool story. I was like, wow. I didn't do my homework. Shame on me. But that's wow, that's crazy. Yeah. But one thing that I really want to, before we finish off, I want to talk about Area 51 secrets. Do you know much about Bob Lazar? What he's seen?
A little bit, but
bro,
not 100.
That guy.
Yeah.
Do you know about element 50? Element 115. Element 115 or something like that?
No.
Okay, there's so the cool thing about if you go on Joe Rogan or any other one, mostly Joe Rogan, he had him in and talked about it. They're talking about element 115, and element 115 actually explains how they're like your UAPs move. You know how they can move up, down, left, right. And you can do anything. You're like, how the fuck does that work? Gravity,
Yeah.
Element 115 is the one element that now is part of the whole chart. So you can imagine this is the UFO, and the element 115 from here creates a love heart going up and around like that.
Right.
Creates his own gravity.
Yeah.
So it creates his own gravity.
Yeah.
So therefore, the UFO itself doesn't buy any law to our gravity, and as well, it can reflect the sun off of it. So therefore, if you see it, sometimes you can usually see it's just shiny, and the sun's shining off of it. It's because it's creating its own gravity, and you see how fast it moves. It moves forward, back, up, down, turns like a third
like
degree.
in the Flight of the Navigator.
Exactly like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, when he was explaining it, and I was like, what the fuck? And then as well, on top of that, he was explaining how the UAP is inside. and he says it's like alive. Like the UFO itself, the UAP itself is actually alive. It's like it moves. I was like, what the fuck? And then he was just saying that like it's all connected. Like you know how we have this chair and table, like you can move it, like but this is actually connected down to the ground. It's like everything's connected. And then Joe Rogan was saying like, is there any screens or anything? He's like, there's a little like door thing, but it can turn into a screen. But he says like it's so tiny, but when you sit in the middle, it's tall, it's big. As soon as you hit in the middle of the actual craft, it's tall, it's huge. And I was like, what the fuck? And he was describing that how element 115, it's like an energy source. We can have it, but we don't have the technology for it. It's too powerful. Like you can't even make it. That's how powerful it is. And they were saying that when they were trying to like, test it and take off, and this is how you explain how the Americans have their own aircraft and their own version of the UAPs. Yeah. This is how they did it. So the craft itself, they turned it on, and back in the day they didn't have what's that thing they do when you can check for the body heat? What's that called?
Heat sensor.
Yeah, the heat sensor, right? Back in the day they had to create their own. But the craft itself couldn't. Usually, if you turn on the engine, you can see the heat. It had no heat. No heat at all. So
heat signature.
No heat signature, right? Had no heat.
Yeah.
So it was cold. I was like, what the fuck? And then he says it takes off takes off quiet. And he's like, what do you mean by quiet? So it actually has like a little hissing sound. It takes off when it hits 5 feet, and then it takes off. It's silent. And I was like the Bob Lazar, him explaining everything that happened in Area 51, bro, is like mind blowing, because now when you look at like all the things that's coming out now on TV, they're saying like all aliens are real and UAPs are real, and bro, everyone thought Bob Lazar was crazy. He's talking nonsense. But he actually worked in Area 51, and he was saying as well, like he had to sign this thing, and you know, like you were saying to me before, the government was actually listening to single thing to make sure that he didn't say anything or this and that. I remember the first time that he actually came out, I watched it ages ago when I was like a teenager on YouTube. In the way he was describing in Area 51 and how they will have like test days, like actual like going through the mountains and someone will be driving it and doing all of that. And it's true what you were saying. Like they end up creating their own UAPs, testing out if people actually will react as they would, because we're not used to that. We're not used to seeing another flying object. We don't even know what that is. You know what I mean? So they were testing that out. And that time, I think he wasn't part of Area 51. I think he quit, or they got rid of him or something. He got all of his friends, and he knew exactly where in the desert of Nevada they were testing. Showed all of his friends, all of them shot themselves. Like, what the fuck is this? He's like, that's the thing I've been working on. That's the thing that I've been telling you guys about, but no one believes me. And they're like, is that an actual alien? They're like, nah, that's human. That's human. We created that. But they got it from an alien fucking crash retrieval. Do you know what I mean? And like when you start looking on how the actual thing works, blows your mind, bro. Like imagine, like, it creates its own gravity. That's crazy, bro. It doesn't buy by any like law by Earth, like no gravity or bro. It reflects sun. How could a thing reflect the sun? It's crazy. Bob Lazar would be something that you should fucking listen to.
Yeah,
there's so many things that he came out with. I look
more into Dr. Grier and
Joe Rogan. Get him on.
What he was saying, and it was fascinating.
Bro, that's a tipping stone. That's a tipping stone of what's happening in Area 51. We don't even know what else they have. They probably have very powerful guns.
He's talking about the speed that from the 50s to now, the advanced technology and weaponry we now have.
What do you think?
The speed, like that we've done it, like that we've managed to create these things.
100%.
Is pretty much obviously getting the attention of, you know, aliens out there or whatever.
Do you think that maybe the government itself is preparing us because they know there's an actual like they're gonna land here and then be like, we'll be part of this civilization, blah blah blah.
Who knows? There's theories. There's one theory that you're gonna have a false flag event where we think we're being invaded by aliens, but it's not. Like that's a training thing, like where they're pretending. We're going to be invaded by something that's not real and it's us doing it. Like,
you're talking about Project Blue Book?
I think so.
I've heard about that one. Blue Beam, yeah. Like they're going to be an alien invasion, and then Jesus is going to come in and save us. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm reading all these theories and I'm thinking, look, okay. And
I know, bro. I know. I was like, at the end of the day, guys, I have a life. I got a fucking mortgage.
Fuck. Exactly. I've got two kids, a mortgage. Like, I've got shit to worry about.
Yeah, I got other things to worry about. Like, what the fuck, like,
man. Like
alien invasion, fucking theories, this and that. Right. We're like, dude, I gotta pay for food, bro.
I'm still waiting for GTA 6. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm sitting there, the aliens come, all this shit kicks off, and I'm like, fucking hell, man. Like,
fucking GTA 6 hasn't even came out, man. Do you think that would speed it up?
Excuse me, Mr. Alien. Like, can we do like GTA things? Like,
can you come back a couple years later?
Red Dead Redemption 3, please. Like that.
It's like this. Can you guys come back a couple years after? Because I want to play like fucking Grand Theft Auto 6.
Can you give the technology to Rockstar so they can do fucking GTA 6?
Can you tell them to hurry the fuck up? But anyways, guys, we'll just wrap it up there. This is a really good episode actually. Because
I had fun. It was good.
This is a fun one with Mr. Joe. If you want to go suss out his podcast, is Adelaide Horror Podcast by Joe. As well, can you guys don't forget to please like, subscribe, and follow. As well, I got Spotify, I got Apple Podcasts, and I got iHeartRadio and Amazon Music as well. So if you guys have those,
that's a lot.
Well, I had to get out there, bro. But anyways, as well, before we finish off, Joe, your videos on TikTok have been booming with that one that you said about that paranormal one.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro. Guys, if you really want to hear...
I was mumbling too. Like,
I've
been listening and going, what is he saying? Like
I sometimes put volume up. I'm like,
I've got to put the volume down. Like, the music was fucking scaring me. Like,
that's good. No, but anyways, guys, go check him out. He's going to have some more content out as well. We're doing a lot more of this. It's just the tipping stone. He does have a life. Don't forget, guys. He does have a life. But anyways, thank you for everyone for listening and watching. I really give your thoughts on the comments about Australia Day as well. UAPs and aliens.
Just be good to each other.
Yeah, we want peace. We want love.
Yeah, chill.
We just want to be chilled. So anyways, see you later, guys, in the next one.